There are a lot of things you can do with chicken. Bake it, grill it, deep fry it. But one of my favorite things to do is to smoke up a chicken, take that terrific white and dark meat, mix it up with some great seasoning and ingredients, and have some terrific smoked chicken salad sandwiches. So before we have those smoked chicken salad sandwiches, we got to smoke up our chicken. And I'm actually doing it tomorrow because if you've watched enough of my chicken videos, you know that a lot of the times I like to prep the chicken the night before, let it air dry in the refrigerator. So that's what we're doing today. Now I've got about a 6-pound chicken here and I'm going to be spatchcocking it, which is basically removing the spine so this bird will lay flat on the grill. I'm going to be using the SnS Grills Kettle tomorrow. We're going to be smoking it with cherry wood, and we're going to have some great flavor in this chicken. So first of all, we're going to turn our chicken over here, and we are just going to cut out the spine. Just follow it along, cut through those ribs. If you're making stock or something like that, this backbone is perfect to use for that. Just work your way along. And if there are any extra excess pieces of skin or fat, you can trim those off. Now we're going to flip our bird over and we are going to press down until we hear a snap so we can sort of break that breastbone. It'll help it lay flat. There's our flat bird. Let's get this seasoned up. Now this is where individual tastes come into play. You can use any seasoning on this you want, or any rub, and that's what I'm doing. I'm using Smoke Shake by North Texas Barbecue Addicts. I love this rub. I've used it on beef, pork, chicken. It's just terrific. But really, you can use any rub you want, any combination of seasonings. This is just gonna give us an initial layer of flavor that's going to absorb overnight, and it's gonna combine with that smoke out on the grill tomorrow. It's gonna be terrific. We're gonna give this a nice, heavy coating here. No need for a binder. There's plenty of moisture on this chicken. And if you want to, you could go up under the skin here. I generally don't like to do that. I want to try and preserve some of the skin here. Even though we're going to be pulling this and making that chicken salad for chicken salad sandwiches, I want to try and keep it as intact as possible. Let's just turn this over. Give one more dusting here on the skin side. I'm happy with that. I'm just gonna tuck my wings back under here. This chicken's gonna go on a rack, on a tray, in the refrigerator overnight to air dry. That'll help the skin so it's not rubbery. It may not be super crispy, but it is going to be bite through, slice through, and I do want some of this skin in the chicken salad for our sandwiches. So I'll see you tomorrow out at the grill. All right, the SnS Grills Kettle is coming up to temp. I want it between 350 and 400 today. Let's go ahead and get our bird on. I want to get a couple pieces of cherry wood on here for some smoke today. We're going to be putting the thighs toward the heat. The legs and thighs that way. That dark meat can absorb heat better than the white meat of the breast. So that's sort of our buffer. So I'm going to go ahead and get my temperature probe in. Let's get our lid on and get smoking. So I'm using lump charcoal today in the slow and sear. A lot of people always comment that I never use lump. Occasionally I'll use lump. I'm just going for heat here for a shorter cook. It's not going to be a 3-4 hour cook, so I prefer briquettes for things like that. Also, the lump comes up to temperature more quickly than briquettes, at least in my experience. I'm going to adjust the top vent to about half open. I've got the bottom vent about half open, and that should keep me in that 350 to 400 range. Target temp today is 160 internal, and that's measuring temperature in the breast. We'll get some carryover cooking after we take this off. That'll bring it to that 165 internal, which is the safe temperature for poultry. So I'll bring you back in a little bit when we check this bird. We might spritz it with some plain water if the surface is drying out too much. That's just to keep that skin from drying out too much. So I'll see you back here in a little bit. All right, we are 20 minutes into this cook. The internal temperature of the chicken's about 94 degrees. Kettle temp's about 350. I'm probably gonna open this top vent just a little bit. Let's see how this chicken's doing. Really good color on that, but I can see it is a little dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and spritz this quickly so we can get the lid back on and get that fire tamped down. All right, we're gonna keep going. I'll see you back here when we hit 160 internal. All right, we're coming up fast on 160 internal. The SnS Grills Kettle is holding 350 perfectly. Let's give this chicken a final check and get it off here. That's looking really good. Now, if you don't want color this dark, you could drape this with foil when it hits about 120 degrees. That'll maintain a little bit of a lighter color. Let's go ahead and just get a spot check for internal temperature in the thighs. Yeah, that's showing 162, 161 right there. This is done. The carryover cooking will take it to 165. So I'm gonna take this inside, cover it loosely with foil. It's gonna rest for probably 20, 30 minutes to cool down. Then we're gonna cut into it and ready this chicken for some chicken salad sandwiches. All right, here is our chicken. It's been resting for about 30 minutes, so it's cooled down enough so we can pull some of the chicken off here. And I'm just gonna start separating it. Now, some people will only use white meat for their chicken salad. I like white and dark meat, so we're gonna use a little bit of both. Let's see, I'm just gonna cut right through and get some of this breast meat off of here. Actually, let's get our wings off of here first. Let's get some of this breast meat off of here. Oh yeah, nice and juicy. And there's still plenty more in here that we can pick at, and you don't have to just use it for chicken salad, you can have it for a snack. Let's get this other breast off over here. Now I'm gonna set the rest of this carcass over there. It'll get picked over in a little bit for some other uses. Now I just wanna take our breast meat here and start breaking it down. And if the skin pieces come off, don't worry about that. Just leave them in there. Great flavor on the skin. And just chop these down into some smaller pieces. All right, I'm gonna keep breaking these breasts and these thighs and legs down, and we're gonna get to making that chicken salad in just a minute. So for the dressing portion of our chicken salad, we're gonna start with half a cup of mayonnaise. Now, this comes down to that sort of very personal taste thing. Do you like it really, really mayonnaise-y or less so? I go on the less so side. I may have to add more, but this is what I'm starting with. I find this is a good starting point. To this, I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, a teaspoon of a coarsely ground black pepper. I really like black pepper. I'm just gonna mix this together before we get our other ingredients in here. Get this base incorporated. And again, this is something where you can do what you want with it, add your own flavors. Now I'm gonna add in my chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this together before we add our other ingredients. And again, you don't have to have the skin in here because as you can see, it starts to fall off, but if you've been able to get it so it's not rubbery, some of this actually turned out pretty crispy, but if you can get it so it's not rubbery, you have a lot of flavor on that skin from the rub. The chicken has a lot of flavor from the smoke, some from the rub. And see, this is just about that consistency that I like it, not too soupy. Now I'm gonna add half of a medium red onion that's been chopped and 1 medium stalk of celery that's been chopped. Let's get these folded in here. Celery and the red onions, they give you a really nice crunch, nice texture. Chicken salad can be a very personal thing. What are some of the things you guys like to put in there? Drop it in the comments below. I know a lot of people put things like grapes, raisins. I've seen a lot of different ingredients. And I'll change mine up different times. Final ingredient are some nuts. Now these again are some personal choices. A lot of people put walnuts, pecans, almonds. I've put all of those. What I'm using today are some sweet and spicy pecans from Trader Joe's. I'm gonna stir these in. And I don't think I'm gonna need to add any more mayo to this. This is looking just the way I like it. Let's get a little taste. That is just right. Okay, I'm gonna chill this down in the refrigerator for about 20, maybe 30 minutes. Then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna build our smoked chicken salad sandwich. So our chicken salad is chilled. I went ahead and toasted up a couple pieces of a cracked wheat sourdough. Really nice bread. We're just gonna go ahead and build this sandwich. And again, if there's things you like to put in your chicken salad, go ahead and put them in. I'm always liking to try new things. Try to pile this one high today. And now on this, I'm actually gonna add something which I know a lot of people don't do, but because this is a smoked chicken salad sandwich, I'm just gonna add a little bit of barbecue sauce on top. Not much, just a little bit. And that's totally to your taste. Let's go ahead and top this. And let's cut this in half. There we go, yes. The smoked chicken salad sandwich. I don't think there's any doubt it's time to taste. So here I go. That turned out better than I had hoped. Just really great flavor in this chicken. The rub, the smoke, still very juicy. And you add that to the dressing that you make to make chicken salad, just fantastic. And I do really think there is something special about using a smoked chicken or even a grilled chicken when you're making chicken salad. You can use any kind, baked, broiled, boiled, but there's just something about getting that outdoor flavor into the chicken, onto the chicken. I think it just works so well in this. Cook time on that chicken today was just about an hour. Temperature stayed between 350 and 400 the whole time. We ended up with great flavoring on the skin, great flavor in the meat. And so for that little extra effort, I think it's totally worth it when you're making chicken salad. Just fantastic.